Shalom Israel. Alright, first off, we give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua. Double honor to Apostle and Elders of Great Millstone, rule well. Peace and blessings to the elect, the house of David. Alright, so today I just want to go into a quick hit, pretty much breaking down Romans, the 13th chapter, the first two verses. Right, you have people in the churches that break that down completely wrong. Alright, they're talking about how you're supposed to completely submit yourself into whatever kingdom that you're in, and that shouldn't be so. Because if you completely submit yourself to the kingdom that you're in, or captivity, alright, you're not giving blessings and power and creed and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, the true creator, man. Alright, so we're kind of going to go through that, get a precept, and Lord willing is edifying for brothers, okay? This is Romans chapter 13, verse 1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of the Most High. The powers that be are ordained of the Most High. So whatever captivity in, whatever kingdom that we're in, is always set up by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. That's why you read Daniel, the 4th chapter, it says that he rules in the kingdom of men and set up over the basis of men. Alright, so each power, whether it be Esau, whether it be the Babylonians, okay, they're all set up of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. So right now we're in the captivity in the rulership of Esau. Alright, the so-called white man. Alright, so they're set up of the Most High, but that does not mean that you actually completely subject yourself to this kingdom, to this devil, man. Alright, you still have to submit yourself to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And that's what these churches have wrong. That's why people submit themselves to the 501c3, even these other Israelite groups out there. All right, so you have to get an understanding on what these scriptures are talking about, man. All right, this is verse 2. Whosoever resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of the Most High. And that's not saying that if you resist the power, you resist the ordinance of the Most High. Now, what that really is talking about is if you just go and fly out the handle and just completely try to take this devil down on your own accord, on your own agenda, okay? Then you resist the order of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Because what he tell in Jeremiah, he actually told them they need to go into captivity under the Babylons, otherwise he was going to destroy them, man. Because that was what needed to be set up at that time for this movie to play out. All right? And they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation. So that's talking about if you, like I said, if you're doing it carnally. All right, so what did the Lord tell Peter when he cut off the Malchus' ear? All right, you live by the sword, you're going to die by the sword, man. That's why we have to be in the spirit and follow the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, because his thoughts are not our thoughts. So if you're trying to do your own thing, you're always going to fail. Okay, so that's what that's really talking about, okay? All right, so you don't submit yourself completely to this place, because if you submit yourself completely to this place, what are you going to end up doing? You're going to end up taking the chip, all right? You're going to end up being destroyed in that day. But there's a fine line, there's balance, man, how you have to operate in these captivity. Okay, so to back that up, I'm going to give Matthew chapter 22, verse 17. Tell us, therefore, what thinkest thou? Is it lawful to give tribute unto Caesar or not? But Yahweh shall perceive their wickedness, and said, Why tempt me, ye hypocrites? Show me the tribute money. And they brought unto him a penny. And he said unto them, Who is this image and superscription? They said unto him, Caesar's. Then saith he unto them, Render therefore unto Caesar the things which are Caesar's, and unto the Most High the things that are the Most High's. So what does that mean, man? That means you pay your taxes, you go to work, all right, you do all the things that you have to do to make it in society to get your daily bread. It's not cause really no ruckus, but you still got to honor, give the Most High the things that are due unto him as well, man. You worship him in spirit and truth, you do the work, you follow law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability. All right, you don't go to work, slap an Edomites, tell them they're going to go into slavery. All right, you don't do all that type of madness, man. Why? Because you're going to end up going to jail. Or worse, Esau going to put a bullet in you, man, for not being spiritual about your life. All right, so there's a fine line and there's balance in this thing. But you have other camps that are talking about getting the 501c3 Charter Act. All right, other churches, man. That's completely getting in bed with this devil, man. And then that way, what does he do? He actually controls what kind of reverence you give to the Heavenly Father in that day. He puts stipulations and limits on that, man. All right? You actually going to him for permission. Our permission is given from the Heavenly Father on high, man. That's why we're able to go out and speak against his kingdom in this time, man. So like I said, you have to have balance in this thing and be spiritual about how you govern yourself. And also get an understanding of what the word is talking about. Another example of that is in the book of Daniel, the 3rd chapter. All right? They were named Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They didn't bow down to the image when the horn blew. All right? Everyone else bowed down. But these are all men of the Lord. You can find all these examples in these captivities where they still worship the Heavenly Father in spirit and truth, man. And they actually loved their lives, hated their lives unto death, man. All right, they didn't submit themselves and bow down to the image. Because if you submit yourself completely, then there's no one here that's going to be under the threat of imminent death like what Paul was under, man. Because when he was writing to the Romans, like this brother always brings out Yaraahla, he was under the threat of imminent death. Now, if he was submitting himself completely to the powers that be, he wouldn't be under that threat, having to be led down out of a window in the basket. All right, always being locked up in jail for preaching the word. All right, so again, you just have to understand what the word is talking about, but the Most High has to be dealing with you, man. All right, so with that, Lord willing, brothers are edified. We give our praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, double honor to the apostle, elders that rule well. Peace and blessings to the elect, the house of David. Shalom.